here with the actress Huma Qureshi on the set of a yet untitled film. We know it's a horror remake or a supernatural remake of Oculus.
It's actually an adaptation.
Okay, what's the difference?
What's the difference? A remake is a frame-to-frame retelling of the same story. An adaptation is to tell the same story in a different way. So I think that's what we're essentially trying to do is the director sort of rework the script a little bit, tweak it here and there, to sort of a little more endearing, palatable, whatever the word is, for an Indian audience, because
not too scary.
Very scary. Good. Very scary, but minus all the blood and gore and things flying all over the place. It's a more sublime, more psychological sort of supernatural thriller, rather.
So after It Died, are you feeling the vibe? Are you like interested in this genre, or is it just the story that you?
But I think the genre is very sort of it's going to be big in the next few years in India. That's what I believe, because there's a huge audience for it. When we were little kids, I remember they used to watch Z Horror Show and Ahat on Indian television, and we used to be petrified. Like my little brother, I remember Sakib, he would sort of, we had this one little huge blanket and my father had gone with a cigarette, a little hole, and he would curl up in my mother's lap, and through the hole he would watch that show, but he had to see the show. I mean, and kids love it. I think as long as you sort of make a film that the family can sort of watch together, horror is something that can even be like a family entertainment. Because, I mean, when you're watching a horror film together, when you get really like scared at point, and then suddenly this nervous sort of laughter floats around and everyone's like, oh, that's scared, you did it.
So it is a family affair. You're here obviously with some people together. You get to star with each other, which must have been a nice attraction towards the script.
Right.
What's it like on set? Are you having fun, or are you trying to?
So the rule is that we finish filming and we do our own thing. Normally, when you sort of do a film, you also sort of hang out with your co-stars, bond with them, you want to get to know them better, what are their likes and dislikes, what are their hobbies, because you feel you sort of bond better, or you just sort of, with Sakib it's just like, you know what, we need time. It's going to get,
you don't need to get to know them.
I don't want to know you at all. just go there, just come on time, don't keep you waiting, and let's just make a good movie. But also in a way, I mean, jokes aside, it's nice because it's comforting to have, especially in a film that's so intense, to have somebody who really, doing a really emotional scene, and as an actor you really have your wonderful self. It's nice to have someone who sort of gets it.
So Sakib mentions the first time London. Have you filmed here before?
I've not filmed here. I've been to London a few times, and I love London. Central, of course, with all the musicals and the nightlife and the party.
You guys saw Wicked? I saw some photos of that.
We saw Wicked, we saw Ben like Beckham.
Oh, nice.
We saw Sanya and Martin Hingis win at Wimbledon. We shopped. I missed the Harrods sale though, but yeah, apart from that, life's good. And we also managed to shoot some movies for a few days.
So the thing I love about both of you are your choices of films. You've got some interesting film body of work, and this will probably add to it. As a woman, I'm really excited to see your film. Obviously, there's something substance there to grab onto. The performances are great. So how do you see your career shaping? How have you made these choices?
I've just made the best out of what I've got. I don't really have the luxury of being an industry kid where sort of things get planned out for you. So I really, and I take great pride in the fact that the first few films, I've auditioned for every single one of them. The first 3-4 films, I went and I tested for everything, and I got them because the director and the producer thought that I fit the part.
And Gans was your first film?
Gans was my first film. So I take great pride in that fact. So I don't know what, I'm just making the best choices that come to me, and today I have the luxury of choosing what I can do, which is a good place to be in. But I always try and gravitate towards stuff that I think I'd like to watch. That I would like to sort of go out and sort of be seen and also associated with it. And that somehow happens to always have a little more meat for the female characters. I know, I'm just greedy.
Have you worked with any female directors, producers, writers?
I've worked with, of course, I've worked with a lot with Ekta Kapoor, which is also who's one of the biggest female producers we have. Producers, why female? Why couldn't find under that? And she's amazing. She's amazing at the kind of film she does and the kind of television she's produced. But yes, today we have to say that whether it's female producers or directors or writers or just technicians, there's so many more women that are working, behind the scenes as well, which is great because it sort of helps bring a very strong female perspective into stories and storytelling. And therefore, which is why you see in the last 5 years, you have so many strong female-centric films coming up, or even in mainstream films, the female actor has a lot more to do than just put lip gloss and look pretty.
And a new generation of actors, yourselves, Huma Qureshi, I'll include Gangana, and now then, there's a lot of young women who are really impressed with the choices you're making. Who do you look up to? Who are your role models? Who have you thought, love to?
Well, I grew up watching the quintessential mainstream Bollywood cinema. That's the reason why we, decided to become actors in the first place. Which is why that is something we'll never sort of discard or diss, because I think there's a huge audience for it even today, and people love it. But as an actor, you have to be aware of how the audience's taste is changing. In India today, you have films that are doing exceptionally well that people want to watch, which are not your quintessential Bollywood plot stories, because people are just, you've seen it. How many times?
What do they want to see?
Oh, they want to see a film, say like Piku, which could be about constipation, or a father-daughter story. They could want to see a film like Queen, where this girl doesn't, she decides to go on a honeymoon all by herself. They want to see a film Badlapur, or they want to see Gam Laga Ke Haisha, or they want to, so that's what they want to see, and these are the films who've done well in the past 1 year in India.
Do you feel producers are willing to risk more money on these kind of films?
I think so, because I see it's a business for them ultimately. So as long as it's making money, they'll make whatever works, And the good thing is that earlier, and it's not that earlier good films were not being made. It's just that they did not support them as far as the marketing or the publicity was concerned. And today, because these films are making that kind of money, they're willing to go out there and put in more money, and so therefore the audience is going to make it.
So, huge fan of Russia. Will you get to work with him again?
I hope so. I really hope so. He has to make a movie with me in it. He's always been one of my favorite directors. When I was a student in Delhi, I remember seeing Black Friday with some friends, and we were like, "Dude, this is an Indian filmmaker." So imagine my yes, and so I was really thrilled to be offered Gangs of Wassseypur, and today I feel very thrilled when I can think of him as a friend or somebody I can talk to, because he's really one of the most. He's really sort of created like this whole wave of filmmaking in India, and not just his own films, but he's also mentored so many smaller films and filmmakers. It's amazing, and I think what he's done, of course we understand it today, but I think that real impact will only, I guess, so look back after 10 years and realize what really that little seed that you put in, how it sort of really changes things.
Now, I love the posters of Gangs of Wassseypur. Sorry to go back to there again. Did you get to keep any costumes, any items?
No, I wanted those Ray-Bans. But I was told that they were those cheap ones that they picked up for $10 from Banaras. Yeah, so someone's just sort of tossed them away, but I really wanted those. No, but I have nothing from Gangs of Wassseypur. I have a few posters. The one with me and Nawaz, because that was my first movie poster, and I was like,
what a guy's acting.
Yes, amazing. And that was his sort of first breakthrough part, because before that Nawaz was also doing little bit parts, one scene in every movie sort of thing. So that was his real breakthrough. He's amazing. He's one of the most pathetic actors to work with because he just takes the scene, and I love him. I mean, I love working with him, and we have a great chemistry. But I always tell him, you just take the scene away. No matter what I do, you just he's damn good, and he's a lovely guy. And he just has a very the best part about him is that no matter even if he's playing like the meanest, baddest guy ever, he makes you root for him. In Gangs, he's playing like a guy who's basically like a don, and he smokes up, and he does all kinds of wrong things, and he kills people, and he's really whimsical. But you really feel for him. I remember we had a screening before Gangs 2 release in Delhi at the Ocean Film Festival, and Nawaz wasn't there. Manoj Bajpayee, Richa Chadda, Rima, Anurag, we all were there for the screening. The first time we had sort of screened the film before it officially released, and when he dies, or when he sort of takes his revenge on Ramadev Singh, the audience just roared. I actually made like a sound clip video, and I sent it to him saying, you should have been here. Because that feeling when you sort of when everyone's sort of rooting for you to kill the bad guy. Like, I mean, I remember Amitabh Bachchan movies, or like the Yesterday, when you really want him to kill the bad guy, and that kind of a reaction from the audience. That was amazing.
I'm glad you got to work with him. Maybe work with him.
I hope so too.
Good luck with the film.
Thank you.
Thank you.